I don't believe advanced people have a type.
What's cracking, people? It's your man, Cousin T, aka the Alpha Wingman, representing high level technicians operating globally and beyond. So, listen, today I have a special guest hanging out in the hot house with me, the beautiful, the talented, the sexy, the incredibly athletic. There's so many other titles that I can give, some titles that have to remain secret. But in any case, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell you guys a little bit about what she does. So without further ado, please take it away.
Hello. My name is Salima Dumboya, Salima for short. I am a full-time personal trainer and relationship coach. I help people, I guess, basically vibrate at a higher level, physically, emotionally, and spiritually in their relationships with themselves, with their spouse, with their kids, with their boss, just the relationship with the universe. So I just help people have a better relationship.
Thank you very much. That was very sophisticated. So let's do this. People know that I personally train. Salima, you hear that? Salima is are you a master trainer yet? Certified personal trainer for many moons. I would say that she has a master trainer level of experience. And basically, what she does is train people to look hot naked. And on the other side of that, she assists people with what to do once they get naked, and then once they put their clothes back on, because apparently people still out here attempting to have relationships. And that's basically what I am curious to know, um, especially with people who podcast in this space, who put out that title of relationship coach. That's a very weighty title, especially in the modern Western society that's filled with landmines, that's filled with pitfalls, that's filled with DMs, that's filled with cheating, that's filled with all types of interesting desirables and undesirables. So let me just ask you this first, just so that we can dive right into it. Who do you primarily focus on with your relationship coaching, men or women?
I would say right now, just because of the target market that I have, I'm right now pushing my focus primarily towards men.
That is not what the expectation is. How are you going to be a whole female relationship coach helping men in their relationship situations? How does that happen? What is the skill set that a modern woman uh, needs in order to be able to successfully assist a man in his relationship?
Well, I think one of the things is that just personally, I've always been welcomed in the male space. I was always, I don't like saying tomboy anymore. I was a Tommy girl. I was always accepted as one of the guys. So I actually had to learn how to have personal relationships with females because it was just more natural with men. One of the reasons that I'm gearing towards men right now is because I help a lot of aging men, and one of the things that aging males have to deal with is knowledge of their prostate, and when it naturally enlarges, how to deal with that, the side effects, and then possibly prostate cancer. And once you get to that, your relationships are affected by that because your dick is affected by your prostate. And unfortunately, our society has made men have more, tie a lot of their masculinity to their dick. And so much of the masculinity is tied to that, but our society also in turn does not give men space to have healthy discussions and conversations about their dick or their feelings or anything else. So once they get into a situation when they are older, if your masculinity has been defined by your dick, and then you get older and your prostate enlarges and you possibly end up with prostate cancer, you're not able to communicate properly to your doctor. 9 times out of 10, the doctor is male, so he also has those same communication issues. So you guys are not really talking openly about how that functions. You're not talking to your doctor or another man about that. Also, you're not going to know how to talk to your spouse or your partner. So much of everything, unfortunately, revolves around your dick.
All right, I'm going to jump in here. There's so many things to unpack with what you said. I'm going to throw some points that I can just chime in on. So many questions, but let's start with this. I had a client who is just a seasonal client. She is a urologist at a Chicago hospital, and basically she's got a phone full of dick pics, basically, because she works obviously within a large Chicago hospital system, obviously with just male clients, and she's very comfortable with discussing men's reproductive health. And that's one of the things that I try to focus on with my podcast. I don't necessarily get into the technical medical aspects of it. My focus is more so on understanding and owning what you have, because, and this also will tie into some things that you mentioned as far as a man's identity being tied to his member. I don't see how that's not a thing when a woman's identity is tied to her vagina, and that's where the pussy power movement comes from. You're shaking your head as in disagreement. Let me understand how women are not getting the bag from a bag.
The reason that so many women have gone many years without having an orgasm, or a real one, and they in turn fake, which in turn puts makes men believe that they are better at giving orgasms than they actually are. So we have a large society of people that are horrible at having sex. But
We call it trash now.
but women are not taught to identify with their vagina. They are taught to stay away from it. If you think about it, everything is showing that your vagina is wrong. Everything. Everything is saying that. I mean, women are not supposed to masturbate. It's women are. I'm talking about what has been in our society has made us the way that we are right now. Mm-hmm. So women are not taught to masturbate, not taught to talk about their sexuality, because as a woman, you're really not supposed to have sexuality. If you are sexual, then that means you are either a prostitute, a hoe, a stripper. That's when that's how they're equating sexy. Often, if you are sexy, you are not smart. So I don't believe that our society has been geared towards teaching women to identify with their vagina.
I'm literally stealing the mic. There's so many counterpoints that I would like to offer for that, especially in pop culture. We were earlier having a conversation about images in pop culture, and it's really interesting the points that you brought up about, because it sounds like there's a focus on the virginal woman, or a woman that is so caught off from her sexuality that she becomes an object, and that she's not an agent in her own femininity. That's what it sounds like. But there's so many aspects of pop culture, modern pop culture, that talks about female and feminine. Well, I would say female empowerment. I'll give you the feminine part being lacking, but female empowerment, doing what it takes to be a boss bitch, doing what it takes to get the bag. Cardi B is very popular, and she is a stripper. She is seen as one of those success stories from starting from the bottom, from just stripping to becoming a musical icon. Amber Rose was a stripper who married Kanye West, who married Wiz Khalifa, who's now associated with other entertainers. There are many examples in modern pop culture of women basketball wives, Real Housewives of Atlanta, of Orange County. There's so many factions of pop culture that preach Nicki Minaj, female empowerment, and owning her sexuality in a way that she can leverage that into her quote unquote material success, but at the same time being able to dominate the men in her space so that her pleasure is put as a priority.
So you put a lot of people, a lot of things all in one common bag. If we talk about like pop culture, aka what's being shown, purposely what is being shown are the things that's what they're showing. The only things that are popular is when they're talking about their vagina, when they're showing, when they're shaking their ass. That is what is being shown as popular. But if you are saying female empowerment with Real Housewives, I don't see any equivalent. I don't see, there's nothing, because on that show, on all of those shows, what do they show women? That the first seasons for each one of those, the women look a certain way. By the second season, they all have changed how they look. Not only that, it shows that women cannot work together because they're always fighting. It's always showing the negative aspects. So that's what those shows are making you believe. So if like what we were talking about earlier, there are people they're seeing that as aspiring to that.
Susceptible of taking their cues.
Yeah, but that is not empowerment. That's just what is shown and who is in charge of it.
All right, people. This was episode 1 of the Cold Shower Sessions. Stay tuned for episode number 2, which definitely heats up. That will be coming to you soon. But as always, until next time, this is your man, Cousin T, aka the Alpha Wingman, saying, stay sharp and machine balls. Bye.